Hello Zany friends, I am Laney.
I am Marshall.
And we have a little tutorial slash makeup in a movie version 2 of Hocus Pocus. And we did this 2 years ago when Chris was on the channel, and we did like this whole look of using like actual holiday palettes, which I was like laughing because I'm like, I forgot that we got the holiday palettes in October. But what we are using this time is the Sanderson Sisters palette from Pretties for Your Face, as well as the highlighter that came in the collection. So I'm going to be doing a look for that while we talk a little bit about more trivia from Hocus Pocus, as well as some special things that happen to us that are Hocus Pocus related. So we're doing that. So first off, I wanted to show the palette, the Sanderson Sisters palette. The art on here is real fun. And then the inside, I'm gonna hold this upside down. So this one right here is called Black Flame Candle. This is Winifred. This is, I'm reading it upside down. Sarah is this middle one that's purple. Mary is this like orange one, and then Book is this one right here. Now I think Book is like a really gorgeous matte blending shade, so I'm going to use that first all over the crease. But I do have to say that this reminds me a little bit, just these two colors right here, of her Hamilton palette as well. But I really am liking the purple and green in here, and I'm definitely going to use both of those. I'm probably going to just put this right in the crease first, and then I'm going to dab a little bit of this purple shade on the outside part, and then this green is going to go on the lid. I also have a really awesome green highlighter from ColourPop. It is, or highlighter, liner. It is in the shade Teaspoon, and I'm going to use that to line both the top and bottom. I haven't really been using black liner lately. I don't know why, I just haven't felt like it. So that's what we're gonna do so far while we talk about Hocus Pocus. So what do you got for us?
Well, this is a little bit tough because we have to go back and watch through the original video to be like, what kind of trivia did we already do? What can we talk to you about here? So one of the things that we found out, that song, I found this out just now. The song that she sings, that Sarah sings to lure the children in so they can suck the life out of them. And a lot of people thought that it was an Edgar Allan Poe poem, but while it is based off of it, it is not actually directly that. It was written specifically for the film. Yeah,
it's not. I did look up the poem too for a whole other project, which you will have to see if it's not already out. It probably will be out before this video. So we did look it up, and there are lines that are the same, but it's not totally the same.
Okay. Mary Sanderson was originally thought to be Rosie O'Donnell.
Really?
Yeah, so they had originally offered her that. O'Donnell claims that on her blog that she was turned down, that she turned it down to work. That she turned down the offer to work with Bette Midler because she didn't want to be a scary witch, as opposed to her normal show. No, she's funny. She really was funny in that show.
So maybe we should like preface this by saying, like, if you haven't seen Hocus Pocus, like, where have you been? like honestly, I think they show it like 30 million times a year, or even 30 million times during the month of September and October on ABC Family. So at the point of this goes up, maybe you should just go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. It's very classic. It's a classic. Is it my favorite? I'm probably going to get persecuted for this. Is it my favorite Halloween themed movie? No, it's not. But it is very enjoyable. I do like it a lot. It's fun. It's a fun one.
It's now a tradition, but it's not like our favorite.
No.
And you know, even if you do watch the TV version, you know the TV versions are always like cut down a lot for time. But there was some scenes that were in the original trailer that did not get into any theatrical VHS or DVD version of the film.
Really?
It's these kids. The kids are attempting to push the witches into a pool, and the witches are being surrounded by trick-or-treaters, and then Mary is snacking in the grocery store only to be dragged out by Winifred. And none of these scenes were in the movie that anybody's seen.
Oh, that is funny.
Just in the trailer. So it's just like various funny things that are going on. Charles Rocket acquired a certain notoriety for swearing on live television during the final moments of the 21st of February 1981 episode of Saturday Night Live. There's an in-joke connection to this where Max says, "Watch your language," and I think Charles Rocket was one of the actors in the movie. I don't know how this ended up being in there. That doesn't seem like it's even... This is what happens when you go and you look up on the internet various trivia. Sometimes people are like, "I pooped today."
Well, I think instead of that trivia, maybe we should tell them about what happened to us this year that has to do with Hocus Pocus, because I think that's kind of a fun story.
So we told you we have a little bit of a project that may be somewhat related to Hocus Pocus. Kind of gearing up for that. I was doing some artwork. Right? And I was doing this artwork of a zombie coming up out of the ground, and there's Thackeray Binks the cat kind of up on the tombstone. And I'm working on this while we're at Ancient City Comic Con, which is a big event that was going down in St. Augustine, one of our first conventions that we had been to as an entire group. And we're a lot of people are liking what they're seeing as I'm doing it, but then we get to like the after party for one of the nights, and Jason Marsden, the voice of Thackeray Binks, comes in and he's just joining in with the party, and he's walking around with a candle, and we're like, "What's going on with that candle?" We don't get this.
Well,
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
That's actually
and so, like he's dancing around. We're like, "That's totally cool." And then afterwards, he comes around to us, and he shows us the candle. Like, we're sitting in a booth off to the side. He comes up to us and shows us the candle, and it's a candle of Bill Murray as a saint, which is really hilarious because the restaurant that this party is taking place in is the Caddy Shack, and it's actually owned by the Murray brothers. And so this is like really funny, but then we started talking to him, and
I think the reason why he, besides the candle, the reason why he stopped by is the panels there were very small.
Oh, yes, right.
It was like not a lot of people go to the panel, and my husband actually went to the panel and asked a question to Jason about the movie White Squall, which he thought would be very obscure because probably no one would ask him about that because he does a lot of voice acting, so probably a lot of questions are about that. And so Jason stopped by the table because he was like, "Hey man, thanks for coming to the panel." Now Jason apparently is this huge like convention nerd. Like, he loves going out and meeting the fans and like really being involved, and I could totally tell that from like just him stopping by the table and having conversations about like what our company was about and things like that. It was kind of a cool experience. But
and the other thing is, like, I showed him the artwork that I had been working on, and he goes, "Oh, it's Thackeray Binks." So he like instantly recognized the character. He was like, he is an awesome guy, and totally. I hope he hears this because he's just an awesome guy. Apparently, ABC Family very recently was doing a promo for their showing of the however many days of Halloween.
And it has a little Thackeray Binks cat.
But they got a sound-alike to do the job, and so Jason Marsden, I think it was on his Twitter, he's like...
It was on his Instagram, yeah.
He's like, "Really? I would have done this. You just had to ask. I know you just went with the cheap one, but I would have loved doing this."
So just to kind of continue my look here, I do have just what I have so far, and I actually really like this. I like how the purple blends into the brown. This could be my favorite palette she's ever done. So in here, I have my little Z palette that I use just for her highlighters, and there's like a single shadow from her in here, but every time she comes out with a highlighter in a collection, I like have to get it because they're so awesome. So this is her highlighter right here for this collection, and it's called Put a Spell on You. Obviously, like, why wouldn't it be? And it's this really pretty lavender color, which is going to go amazing with the purple eyeshadow. So I'm going to use it as a highlight shade here and then the inner corner, and then I'm just going to highlight my cheeks and nose with it on top of that to finish it off. Then I'm going to come in with the eyeliner, and we're going to finish the look off. And then the last thing we're going to do is the lips. So I have my ColourPop Ultra Botted Lip in Doozy. I just wanted a really light, kind of like not really their lip, so that's why I'm using that one, which will take us to us being done.
Yeah.
So yes, That was very cool to meet him. It was almost surreal. Like, that whole trip for me, like, I've been to Comic-Con, like San Diego Comic-Con. I've been twice, and it has been a while. So it was probably when it first started being really big was when I went. And I know, especially MegaCon, which they have here in Orlando, has this also. But basically, if you want to even, like, talk to the celebrities, you gotta, like, pay money, get in a queue, stand in line for, like, an hour to do it. This con, and if you guys are able to at all, this con was so intimate and fun because like the celebrities, they had a table, but like when we walked around, we were kind of there a little early because we had a table there also. When we were walking around, there was like hardly anyone at the table. In fact, the celebrities were telling us to come over to talk to them, and we were like, all right, you know, like it was a fun time. And like, so we met a guy from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Stranger Things, and we talked to him a little bit about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and like things that are happening with that. And then there was a girl from Black Panther. I didn't talk to her though because she was busy when I went by. And then there were a couple people I didn't really know who they were, but you know, we talked to these people, and it was like,
what I found really interesting, and this is something that I've never seen, and I've done a lot of conventions personally. I've done MegaCon, and I've done some smaller conventions as well, but this was the first one that I saw that had an author's alley. So normally they have the artist alley, where it's just like people who make things, but aren't big companies yet. They're sitting there and selling stuff. But then they had this one row that was all just booksellers, private booksellers, not like big company publishers. They're just people that are selling through Amazon. So I actually had some conversations with one of them. It was really interesting.
Was that the first convention you ever had that had like a tattoo area?
Yes. There was one corner not that far away from us where they were doing live tattoos. Like they would do the tattoos right there in front of everybody. And
it was like, weird. We were kind of right next to them, and I'm glad I didn't see many being done, but it was weird.
Yeah, there was a few people between us and them. There was also one guy on the other end that had a 3D printer and a laser cutter. So he was making things from wood that was being laser cut. This was kind of flooring me, seeing some of this. Like he had a puzzle box. It looked like it was a book, but it had a lock on the front, a combination lock, and it was all one piece of wood. Crazy.
It was crazy, but it was a good time, and we are going to have a table there next year. We are all paid up and going to go. There is another convention going on there in November, and I really wish we could go, but the table fee is a little steep right now, especially being so close to the holidays. So yeah. Maybe
one day.
Maybe next year.
A lot of money. Like, is there any other conventions in the area that you thought that you'd want to go to if you had the option? I've kind of felt like a lot of the smaller cons are getting eaten up in Orlando these days. I hear about conventions, but none of them that'll be coming back to Orlando because MegaCon pretty much wipes them out.
No, well, that's not true because I'm just going to blend out my look right now. The thing is, there's actually some in the area that I have found that we are going to do that. Like MyCon is a new one that's happening next year in our area around March. So we're probably going to end up doing that one. But then after I did a lot of research, I found out that there are a lot in the area like in Kissimmee and Claremont, like really random places, but not necessarily here in Orlando. Yeah. But I think a lot of people were kind of like, yeah, they're okay with MegaCon and they like it because the celebrities are there. But a lot of the smaller ones are starting to make a comeback, which I think is interesting.
Oh, that's good. Because smaller conventions can really be a lot more fun. The big conventions are just big and hectic. What I do like about them is that they tend to have a little bit more side stuff going on.
And I think our next convention, it's not really a convention, we're doing a fair on October 13th in Ocala, and it's called Thrill the World, and it's basically every year they try to break the Guinness World Records for the largest amount of people doing the dance Thriller. And I thought this was really, really funny. And so when I talked to the person, like sometimes it's hard for us to figure out, is this going to be like our scene to sell our stuff or not? Because a lot of the fairs we've gone to, that people have been like, I don't get it. But obviously the geeky people are our bread and butter. So we thought, so I asked her, I was like, so this is what we have. And she was like, actually, you'll fit in really well because we're thriller themed. Like, we're already kind of geeky. And I was like, all right, cool. So we're going to do that one. It's only for like a 4-hour conference at night. And the kids get to trick or treat around and it's supposed to be really fun. But I can't wait to do that
candy.
One. Yes. I do have to get some though. We don't keep candy in the house because
we eat it. And we shouldn't.
And I'm not supposed to anymore. So actually, I do have sugar-free Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Werther's because when I need a fix, that's what I have. But anyway, this is my look. And again, like I said, this is probably my favorite palette she's done. I love the Hamilton palette. That's probably now my second favorite. But this one is amazing. It is no wonder that this thing sold out the first time she stocked it. She had to stock it again. It sold out again. So you guys go on the site. I have a code down below for you to save money if you want to get this palette. It's amazing. And I really like the highlighter. It's very subtle. It's not like glitter, you know. It's very nice. Anyway, thank you so much for watching our Hocus Pocus talking about makeup in a movie #2. Please stay tuned. I would know we're being kind of sporadic when we upload our videos, but it's very busy right now and we're starting getting the holidays. I'm trying to get more stuff out there, but it's kind of tricky.
It's been hard.
Tricky.
We're both working full-time jobs.
Yes. And stuff. And I'm still in recovery. So there's that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and until next time.
Stay zany.
Bye-bye.